Hi, and welcome to episode 29 of the Everything Couples podcast.
Hey. Sex position of the week was 69. We did not do the 69.
No.
We've done it. That wasn't a position we were in the mood for this week, but...
I mean, 69 race didn't happen.
No. Oh, yeah, we were talking about a 69 race, weren't we? Well, one day.
If anybody tried the 69 race, let us know how it went.
Yeah, I'm very curious how that would go. All right. Oh, something I wanted to bring up before we go on to our advice was... last week we talked about masturbation, and there was that... What was it called? Like folklore? Not folklore.
Yeah, like a wives' tale.
A wives' tale, yeah. About hair on hands if you masturbate.
Hairy palms.
Yeah, hairy palms. And just before recording right now, we were watching the All-American Dad show.
Not All-American, just American Dad.
Oh my god, I don't even know what it's called. American Dad show. And the episode was about masturbation for men. And there was it a video?
We have some angry cats right now.
If you hear growling in the background, please ignore. So the American Dad show it was about masturbation, and
It's like
the dad showed the son a film because he was telling him how bad it was, and it showed a kid it didn't show the kid actually doing it, but came out of the bathroom screaming and grew hair on his palms.
And then his eyes fell out.
It was hilarious because, what were the odds that we just learned about this last week, and then we watched an episode.
And it's an old episode, too.
Yeah, it is. So I had to share that because I thought that was really funny. One thing before we get into the advice of the week, I just want everyone to know that until we start getting submissions of people looking for certain advice, and obviously we're not experts in any means, it's just more of us giving our own personal opinions and kind of looking things up to try to help. But in the meantime, while we wait for those kinds of requests to come in, we do just look for advice online and we read the stories from there. Yes, I know other people can look those up, but I would never look these up on my own. So if you're listening, I would think, we're going to cover all these for you. So we're going to start reading them word for word just because these wouldn't be stuff we would look out without listening to a podcast. So that's what we're going to do.
Well, and we had a viewer ask or listener ask a while ago about having a better sex life.
Yeah, that was a listener. So. And we just had somebody write in recently, and I'm working with her to see if they want to do a recorded interview or if they just wanted me to send some questions. So I'm going to be working with them, hopefully, and we have a new topic to bring to everybody and bring some awareness to. So we're really excited about that. It was thank you for sending that in. You know who you are. I'm very... that made our day. So
yeah, I remember you read the message and you I don't remember how you did it. I was in the other room and you called me in real quick to let me know.
I'm like, oh my god, get over here. Yeah, so it was cool. But yeah, so exciting things to come. All right, so our advice of the week was 10 relationship tips that couples often forget, and we got it from lifehack.org. Oh, I see.
I'm just laughing because the first one. Do you want me to take it away?
Well, let's read the intro before we go to the first one, which everyone will guess. But I'll let you read it.
Okay.
So the intro to this is, once a couple of people have settled into a relationship, things can fall into a bit of a rut. Routines form, the attentiveness that was present at the beginning of the courtship might be replaced by content, complacency, and ultimately tensions arise. These simple tips may seem like common sense, but you may be surprised at how often people forget about their importance. Alan, take it away with what everyone knows is number one.
Communication is vital. It says very few of us are able to read one another's minds, so it's important to express things that weigh on us, whether they're positive or negative. And that's something I know that's important for me. I get really frustrated when you don't. I want to know, what you're thinking, when I can tell something's on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you'll be really stubborn and won't tell me. And you'll think it's a little thing, but I still want to know because you seem once you communicate, there's just a way better air in the room, and we seem like we do much better. So it's saying little behaviors that bother us can become more irksome over time, so it's good to address them early, before the irritation accumulates to the point of anger. Similarly, miscommunications can lead to some pretty ugly arguments. So if you're uncertain about something, try to discuss it calmly so you can sort things out. So they're talking to, like, have good communication. Like, you can communicate saying, like, hey, how are you doing? And you're like, fine. Like, you could just leave it as that. But actually, like, dig into it and discuss stuff calmly. Because, like, you have to communicate as a team, too. Like, if you're, like, you turn it into a fight every time, you're not going to want to communicate and say what's wrong. So, especially if somebody gets frustrated easily. So, just stay calm. And I like this part. Even though we may feel that we know our partners well after being with them for several years, remember that we all grow and change over time, and methods of communication must change along with us as needed. I like that.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going to dwell on that because we talk about communication every week, and I think everyone's bored of it. So next one is never take each other for granted. Be aware of every wonderful thing that your partner does for you and express your gratitude whenever possible.
Yeah.
This might be as simple as thanking them for doing the dishes after you've eaten dinner, or telling them how much it means to you that they make your coffee or tea exactly the way you like it. They'll feel appreciated for the love and kindness they show you and will express their appreciation to you in turn, so no one ever feels like their actions aren't being acknowledged. And this goes hand in hand with my love language of words of affirmation. Like, I like being told thank you, and I know you do as well, obviously, but it's very important to let them know that they're appreciated.
Yeah, and I realize, too, like, I like getting that back, too, because I'm finding that, like, it's not my love language towards me, but I like to express my love in, like, acts of kindness.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when I don't, because affirmations I like them too. I think when I don't know if other people are like this too, but when you go out of your way to do something and you don't get that back, that can cause resentment and some frustration.
Yeah.
Respect each other's alone time. Togetherness is important, but just as important, if not more so, is the ability to spend time alone. Too much time spent together can make you irritable, especially if you feel like your personal space is always being invaded. Time alone is necessary for personal reflection, growth, meditation, or even just quiet contemplation. Remember that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and you'll appreciate your partner a lot more after having some space away from them. If you live together, it might be a good idea to have personal spaces that you can retreat to, either individual offices or a garage workspace for one person and an attic library for another. I think that's big too, because especially like when everybody had to do quarantine like 2 years ago.
That really tested people's relationships.
Like we were
fine.
We were fine, but I feel like our sex life.
Like, yeah, because it was always nice when we'd go off to work and then come home and see each other. We'd always be excited. So, oops, don't mind me, I just dropped something. And so then we didn't have that excitement anymore. And then I stayed home and you went back to work. I was still working from home. And then that excitement was slowly coming back because I'd hear the door open and get excited that you were home. So
yeah, I mean, because
I know that the only time I want isn't from work, but you know that's what it had. That's what it had to be at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you would have like, I'd be like, ooh, I've seen those that same outfit with those pajama pants every day. Yeah. For a week now.
Yeah, I woke up a half hour before work and whatever I was wearing to bed. Okay, I don't always wear something to bed, so whatever I was wearing to bed, if I was wearing something to bed, I would wear it to my desk for until lunch. If I didn't have anything on it, obviously just throw a loose shirt and pants on. So, good times, I miss it.
Going back to this where it says absence makes the heart grow fonder, it's like when you were gone, you had something, not this Sunday, but last Sunday, you went to a basketball game with your dad and you were gone all day. And I don't know, it's just kind of nice. Like I look forward to you seeing you when you get home. Yeah. But I also really like that time to myself, and it's nothing against you. No. It's, I need that alone time too. And I know you need it because I'm not, like, I'm myself. Like, I get sick of myself sometimes. We don't like to watch the same
stuff, so I enjoy alone time just so I can watch what I want.
Yeah, you'll get to watch your Bachelor and those things, and yeah. Like, you can have it on when we're together, but we're not watching it together. I'll have my laptop and do something.
Yeah. All right. Next is don't let yourself go.
Wah, wah.
It's inevitable that once certain comfort levels have been reached and closeness wins out over early awkwardness, some behavioral patterns will change. You might not spend an hour prepping before dinner to make sure that your hair is perfect, or your partner might wear the same pants for 2 days in a row without worrying about what you might think of their outfit. That's totally normal and really quite hilarious. That said, closer comfort levels don't mean that you should neglect your personal hygiene or let your living space fall into complete ruin. You know they're not going to judge you if you leave pizza boxes all over the floor, but that doesn't mean that you should. Try to keep things tidy and your appearance a step or two above slovenly, and your partner will undoubtedly feel that they're worth making an effort for.
Yeah, I know, like I think that's part of the reason date nights are important, because you'll sometimes put on makeup.
Yeah, I try to get a little more...
I don't know, just kind of fun.
Look better than what I usually do for you, but... I think I've said this on here before, but when Alan and I first met, I made sure when I went out that I don't wear a push-up bra and I don't wear makeup, because I don't wear makeup a lot, so I don't want to give off the impression that I did. And I didn't want to wear a push-up bra because I didn't want to deceive him. However, I think I kept my jacket on the whole time because I was cold.
You did.
So you didn't even...
But that wasn't really a date. That was just a meeting. It's still, I guess, you wouldn't make a good first impression.
And
I hit you in the face with my shoulder.
Yeah, neither of us made a good first impression. Never thought we'd see each other again. Look at where we are now.
Yeah.
Right.
So, this don't let yourself go thing, too. Like, I got a haircut today for the first time in... Well, I got a cut in September. What is it now? February. I got a trim here and there, but it's... Like, I don't know. You looked at me different, like, you don't look like a slob as much right now.
No, I didn't know what to think, because I was really excited with the long hair, because there was potential coming.
No.
It just wasn't there yet. And then you cut it all off.
Yeah, I have an odd-shaped head.
It looks good now.
Yeah, it does. I didn't like it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't look like a grease ball anymore.
You don't. You had some good slicked back hair days, though.
Yeah. Well, the next one. Share some hobbies and have solo pursuits as well. So, solo pursuits like an American Dad or Stan was masturbating. I'm just kidding. So, it says you might not share your partner's love of... I have no idea what MMORPGs is. I don't know, but I'm just going to...
It's a hobby, of course.
Instead of put that in there, I'm going to say your partner's love of The Bachelor or Bachelorette or...
Joe Millionaire now. Woo!
Or Bridgerton.
Oh, God,
or every movie ever made.
Anything I watch.
Yeah. And they may not be interested in your love of foreign films. That's totally me. Not really.
Insert football.
Football and...
any sport on TV.
Adultish cartoons like Family Guy. And
yeah.
You'll watch some of those.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give your stuff a try.
Yeah. And it says that's absolutely okay. Well, it's great to pursue some hobbies and interests together, like you and I work out together, or like you'll go to the gym at different times. Like we'll see each other there, but it's kind of not letting yourself go that part. And fishing, like this is something that made me really happy. I told you the other day how it made me excited how you were talking about like you want to go ice fishing, and you will bring it up and say you really want to go this weekend.
As long as you will always take the fish off the hook for me.
And it's really nice because we have those things in common. We like being outside, and like our house that we're moving into in 9 months is on the water, and it's like our dream house. We both want this. Like a lot of the stuff is the same. What we want. And
I just started a new job last week, so not fingers crossed. We will have more money now to do the renovations we need to when we move in.
And they're not renovations we need to. It's the renovations we want to. That'll make it like perfect. Yeah.
So anywho, where were you?
Yeah. So one of our hobbies together is getting sidetracked and going off on tangents. Okay. So they're saying it's good to have like solo pursuits together. It says take cooking classes.
You skipped a part. It's important to have your own social groups and interests as well.
Well, I'm apparently skipping stuff. Yeah, I was saying the other day, like there's a friend I need to go out with, like because we hang out with couples a lot, and it's really fun, like going on our dates and stuff. But like you go and watch The Bachelor with your cousin sometimes. And
Yep.
like I said, I need to go hang out with one of my guy friends. We're talking next week, so it's just good. But
I love my bachelor nights with my cuz.
So it says take cooking classes or swing dance lessons together. Hook up with friends, but not in that way. To go to
Could
wine
be.
tasting nights, but then split off for your individual pursuits. You'll have fun things to talk about when you meet up, and the only word I was missing was afterwards.
I'm like, why
A
are you?
random ad popped up.
I'm like, why are you pausing for the
It's-
word
Yeah,
afterwards?
I had a random
Emphasis on afterwards.
wink, wink.
Yeah, I like that. You know, it's important. Like, I do my crafting, which goes into my alone time too. Like, I like being down here by myself when I craft because I enjoy having one of my shows on while I craft. And so I get into a zone of getting my work done and having the show on at the same time, and I love it. And then you came downstairs, and while I was crafting, I'm like, can I keep my show on?
Well, it's even like
And it was nice because
Like-
I got to.
you can look at like a specific like interest. Like we both like to fish, but when you and I fish together, you want to bobber fish.
Yeah.
And I like that sometimes, but I want to be moving and casting and doing this stuff, so I will go by myself sometimes.
Yeah.
And
And I always feel
nice.
bad, but I know you're okay with it.
well, when we bobber fish, we usually catch more things that we'll like actually eat,
Yeah.
and then I have to clean. So
I
that's
love me my bobber.
that's how we split off. Like you help me catch the fish, and then you don't help at all with cleaning them.
Yep.
So I have
I help catch the food. That's all.
and eat it.
And eat it. I just don't prepare it. All right. Next is admit when you are wrong
Yeah.
or when they're right.
Glad you're reading this one.
This may be difficult for some people to do, but it is really important. If you discover that you've been wrong about an issue, a bit of information, and whatnot, own up to it. You'll gain your partner's appreciation and respect if you do, and if you don't, you're just proving yourself to be an immature, pouty jerk. Additionally, if you've been discussing something and your partner turns out to be in the right, acknowledge that fact. They may have been filled with self-doubt, and acknowledging their awareness or knowledge may boost their self-esteem exponentially. So this goes into when I think I'm right about something, and then you jokingly are like, no. But then you get
I
to a
know.
point where you keep saying it, and then I know he's joking for the most part, but then I get this self-doubt, and like I start not yelling, like I don't maybe get angry 1 out of every 10 times about it, but I'll start to like shout and be like, you need to tell me now because I'm seriously going to go to bed thinking, like there's a bad thing about me is I can easily be I might know a fact 100%, but then somebody doubts me and it starts to make me doubt, which is really bad, and I've gotten better at it. I've gotten better at standing up for myself when I do know something is 100% accurate.
Well, with that too, the admit when you're wrong or when they're right, it's kind of like something you and I both can struggle with. And I think I don't know if it's me more than you. It's kind of even. We're both very stubborn.
Yep.
Like,
Sure are.
we had a small, I don't even know what we were unhappy about earlier. But,
It's over. Don't bring it up.
yeah, I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know what
remember.
it is. Don't think about
I'm
it.
trying to remember. But I feel like I was slightly more in the wrong than you. And I'm like, well, we could be crabby all day. Oh, yeah, I said something rude to you, I think. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
So it took me everything to get up, like, after, like, 10 minutes, come over by you and give you a hug, instead of just, like, because it's, like, me admitting, like, hey, I was wrong. But you have, like,
And I apologize back because, then I get crabbier.
it took a lot for me to get up off the couch.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it just shows that I'm less stubborn than you.
That's all right. Maybe it's not, but all right. And next on the list. Also, I apologize, you guys. I say the word all right a lot. I need to, like, get a different segue word.
I'm trying to think. I couldn't think of anything funny.
That's
So I'm
okay.
all right. All right. The stupid... I do it too.
I'm like, did you mean
I
to
didn't
say
do it on purpose. I got distracted by this random
I
ad.
know, I see it popping up. It doesn't pop up on my...
No, and I have ad blocker too. It's the only ad that ever pops up.
Okay. What's next?
And
That's the same word. All right,
and
okay.
onward. Have faith in your partner. Having trust and faith in another person can be difficult, especially if you've been hurt by others in the past. If you've been cheated on or otherwise betrayed by another partner, You might worry that the same thing will happen in your current relationship. And this ad just popped up again. It's really weird. Where it covered up what I was reading. Okay, if you've been cheated on or otherwise betrayed by another partner, you might worry that the same thing will happen in your current relationship. And this may cause you to imagine things or accuse your partner without just cause. If you find that your own insecurities are poisoning your relationship, talk it out with them and consider seeking therapy. They're not the person who hurt you, so please don't assume that just because one person treated you badly, everyone else will too.
This is huge start in our relationship because you had a bad past and it affected us. I don't think it was the most poor thing by affecting us.
I was not super trusting.
Yeah, you weren't super trusting and wanted me to text you.
Well, it wasn't like
it wasn't bad. Like he wasn't controlling or anything. And we had the conversation of why he was like that. Like before I knew he was. Like I didn't know you were like that. You let me know.
Well, it wasn't even like I was never really worried about anything you were doing. It was more like, hey, like let me know you're okay. Like,
yeah. Well, and it made you feel more secure about everything, knowing. Because
I don't remember feeling that way except for like there was times I would worry about like something like oh, did something bad happen?
I went out with the girls once and you admitted you were a little like it made you a little nervous just because of your past.
I don't remember that. I just remember when you I remember my feelings in any situation where like I'm like, crap, did something bad happen? Like, are you okay? Because I'm like, I don't want you to like text me every like hour saying
I know,
that you're
but
okay.
I'm not talking about being okay. I'm talking about because you had a bad partner in the past. You did tell me like when I would go out, it'd make you a little nervous just because of what's happened in the past, and that's partially why you wanted some of the text messages. And I remember like the bachelorette party. I try to be in this. I don't know if this topic is on this one or the one we'll do next week, but like we try to be, you and I are pretty good at being present and not having my phone's next to me, but I'm not looking at it and not being on our phones. So when I go like bachelorette party or I'm out with friends, I try my best not to have my phone on me or look at it very rarely. And I forgot to message you like all night. And I freaked out. At this point, I knew you trusted me just fine, but I still felt really bad because I never messaged you that I was okay and that, hey, we went out to another bar. Like, I'm going to be home 2 hours later than I was planning. But,
and I remember, like, I remember that situation. I think it was this past summer, right?
Yeah. So that wasn't more so of your past relationship. That was just me feeling bad because.
And I felt. See, then I felt bad because you felt bad. Because I don't really have, like, I don't know. I kind of do the same thing to you. Like, if we go do something, like, when I go hang out with a friend, like, when we, like, went and had some drinks, and, like, I like to check in here and there, but I'll forget, too, sometimes, and I've had a text where you're not being rude at all, but you're, like, it'll be, like, from an hour earlier, I'm like, oh, shoot, I didn't respond back, like.
Yeah, we're better at that now.
Yeah.
Like, we know we don't like having our phones on us. We like to, it's our alone time.
See, I honestly, I feel like I feel that good right now, like, with, like, trusting you and everything. I don't remember feeling that way in the beginning.
Yeah, I know. That's why I found it really weird, because I remember it was a thing.
Which was, like, 3 years ago.
So, maybe that's why. Like, I can't pinpoint every time it happened, but I do remember you just, because you would talk to me about it and be like, this happened, and this is why, that's where you're at, and why you feel this way.
It took me a lot to open up about.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, and it wasn't.
It was good that you did, though, because otherwise I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, like, because I never ever wanted to, like, even, like, appear ever controlling or anything, and I hope you never felt that way, like, because that's not a good relationship.
Can I share, like, one of the things, like, your divorce?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know it wasn't a good, like,
it was
more like a friendship at the point, but.
Well, it was like like, I could sum it up in, like, a couple sentences. We both didn't know anything different. It wasn't, like, a great relationship. It was just we didn't know any different, so we were together because we thought that's what we were supposed to do.
But then you introduced her to your friend.
Yeah, and now
she went and hung out with him, and she asked you, right?
No, she just.
Oh no, she went and hung out with him and his family at a cabin. No, he went with her family. He went with her family,
and she's like, just let you know because I have nothing to hide. And yeah, we went from in the matter of a week married to like her moved out and everything. Like, and I didn't know anything, so it just
We were
blindsided
married
me.
for longer than a week. But...
Well, in the
well,
yeah.
it was less than a year. Did you make it 2 weeks?
I don't know. And then,
but yeah, and so like that trust level is that can really break somebody's. Oh, damn, sorry. On to the next one. Leave the past in the past. If you work through a hardship together and come to a positive resolution, move past it and use the experience as an opportunity to learn and grow. Don't refer back to it during arguments. Don't bring it up as a means of guilt-tripping your partner, and try not to assume that just because something happened once, that it'll happen again. What's past is past, and rehashing old ugliness will just poison future happiness. Let it go.
I think that's big. I think we're both good at that.
I feel like it's happened maybe once where what?
Like, remember when you tried to murder me?
Remember when you broke up with me for a day?
That was a day.
Oh, that had to do with the, I think we fell in love too fast, guys. Like, we met December 27th, 2018, and then... And then we went to our friend's wedding, was it February 16th of 19, and I wanted to tell Alan I loved him, so just over a month together, and instead I got really drunk, were we having sex? I gave you a blowjob all the way to the hotel.
No, you didn't. You were going to, and it was like all teeth. And when you say all the way to the hotel was like a minute drive.
That's still all the way to... That's still accurate then. Anyways, I remember getting on top of you, but I don't know if it was penetration or if I was just on top.
And then you were crying.
And I wanted to tell him something, and then I started crying, and then no sex happened.
Well, it was just so random, because I was going to
tell him I love him. Oh, so I was going to tell Alan I loved him. However, I C-capped him per a coworker's suggestion, because you never know what's in someone's past, and I found out Alan was divorced. And I have no issue with that, but I think it's a conversation you have with somebody. Okay, and you guys, we're only a month and a half into a relationship, so should he have brought it up yet? Probably. I don't know, but I was in love with him already, so in my mind, he needs to bring it up. And so I wanted to tell him I love him, but he never brought up the thing, so I couldn't say it, and because he was hiding it.
I was not hiding it.
I know, you don't think about it. And so I cried and fell asleep, and then the next day we talked about it. I brought it up. I'm like, okay, so not the I love you part, but I brought it up. We talked about it. Best conversation ever. It went so well. Next day I went to work and told all my coworkers, like, I brought it up. It went so well. Hour later, Alan broke up with me via text message.
I'm sorry for laughing. I feel guilty. That's why.
God. Oh, it was the worst day of my life. I was never dating again. I went home from work. Like, I Skyped or whatever we did at that job. And I told my boss I loved her, so like I was completely honest with her, told her what happened, that I had to go, and I was still training. So I was about to message the guy that was training me, so I didn't have to talk to him because I was crying. And he walked up to my desk before I could message. He saw my face and just slowly walked away because he's like, okay, clearly something's wrong. And then I was doing everything in my power not to be that girl who like starts yelling at him via text. So I don't even know if I responded or if I said okay. I don't know. I was very short with him, like not mean. So I went home, I was bawling, living where I am right now in my parents' basement. That's not funny, but whatever.
We're back to their basement.
And so you wanted some different response apparently. So finally,
what do you mean? Some
like
response.
I was being short, like little responses to you, and
I think I would just be like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm happy with it.
I don't know what I did, but so then finally I blew up at him, and thankfully my phone was dumb and it wasn't ringing when he called me.
You had a thing where I think if it was face down, it wouldn't ring.
Yeah, I think that phone did that, and I fell asleep in the bed.
Can I tell my portion now?
Not yet.
Ugh.
And then that night, I hear a knock on the door.
It wasn't like late at night. It was like
like 4 or 5. You were
Yeah.
after school.
After, yeah.
And yep. And there he was at the door saying that he made a big mistake.
Well, you texted, or no, I texted and I called you and was seeing. I said I wanted to come over. You said if you would have answered it, you would have told me not to. I probably would have come over anyway. So I came over, even though you didn't answer, and your dad answered the door. I'm like, ooh. But he was, I don't know. I remember he answered the door, and I'm like, I'm dumb. That's how I said it. I asked where you were, and he sat downstairs. So I came down here. You were, like, in bed, and I came in there. You're like, what are you doing here? And I crawled in bed with you and laid there, and I don't know what I said, except I did tell you I love you, and I realized that. So
I just looked over to the room. That's where you told me. That's where we said I love you. It was in a sad manner, but it was still there.
It took me doing my mini freak out to realize that
I mean, it moved really fast, and I mean, you weren't single long, you know? Like, you went from one relationship to the next to then me.
I didn't, and okay, that's part of it too.
It was not that it was intentional.
Yeah, I wasn't, like, I wasn't planning on getting a relationship, like, ever again.
Yeah, he lied to me on that one date.
Yeah, you asked me if, okay, so yeah, this is communication again.
I asked Alan, are you looking for a serious relationship? And he said yes, and then I found out at a game night that was actually a lie 2 years later.
Well, so you probably went to made out with me that night. You said yes. If I would have said no instead.
And then pushed you and been like, you have to go.
Yeah, you started making out with me and then go, you need to leave. I remember that.
One more thing to add. I know this became a very long story. Is that my mom told my dad that night when you came that, I think even before you came over, she was telling me that I don't know if she said you love me, but she said that you just have a lot going on in your mind. Like, and she told my dad that that Alan loves me. She's like, he just got scared. And this was before you came over, I think. I didn't know any of this. Mom told me that later in time, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
So leave the past in the past, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Let's go to
I didn't even know what point we're anymore.
Let's go to the next one.
Mutual goals are important. It's great to have a goal or a project that you're both working on together, like our house. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about. And paying off all our debt so we can just have money to go on trips
after
galore.
Vacation.
Okay. As that can affect many aspects of your life outside of your actual relationship. You could be working on an art piece, saving up for a trip, building a cottage, or even working on a garden. Determine your strengths for the project so you're working in harmony and build something amazing that you can be proud of having achieved as a team.
Yeah.
I think that's big because when I feel like we're on the same page of something and we're working towards the same goals, I feel way better.
Yeah, and it's a lot more fun when we achieve them.
I see the next point. Be honest.
Be honest.
After I lied.
Yeah. After that lie.
Maybe I didn't know what I was looking for at the time.
Be honest. Some people lied to their partners for years. Just months. Actually, a year. I don't know. It was a little white. Was it a white lie? Is that what it's called?
It's still a lie.
It's still a lie. Some people lie to their partners for years out of fear of hurting or offending them, but that can lead to a whole lot of ugliness on all sides. The one being lied to will know that something is wrong, and the one lying may feel more and more frustration about holding back, and the relationship may end up suffering badly as a result. This honesty doesn't have to deal with outright lies, but rather personal interests or preferences that may have changed over the years. Alternately, there could be some serious issues that really should be dealt with, but are internalized out of fear of hurting the other person. Ultimately, honesty really is the best policy, and a strong couple will be able to work through just about anything together. I like that. It's true. Like, just because you know it might hurt their feelings, you just need to bring it up. Don't just blurt it out, but be like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. And I mean, otherwise you can tell someone's holding it back, and it's just going to be worse later if you hold it back too long.
Well, it's not good for you either because, so that story we were talking about where I happen to be married, part of that was, I was honest with myself, but not her. Like, there were other people that I knew and, like, was friends with and stuff that I'm like, I have a way better connection with them. Like, I don't know why.
Oh, really? So do you wish you were with some of them right now instead of me?
Not at the moment. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Let's see how you make me feel tomorrow.
But there are, but I'm like, I wasn't being true to myself or them by staying in a relationship where I wasn't completely happy, because I knew there were people that were way better suited for me that I would have been better with than them.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, I wasn't honest with myself or them, and yeah, if I would have been, I would have avoided a lot of stuff, but who knows, I probably wouldn't have moved to where I moved to, and then been in a different relationship that kept me here, and
that's why I
once I met you.
That's why I said something the other day about how it says, like, people are like, would you change anything about your past? My answer will always be no, because the butterfly effect, you change one thing, it could change your whole future, and then I wouldn't have you.
Yeah, you'd be happier.
Yeah, I would. No, I would not. All right, so that was our 10 relationship tips that couples often forget from lifehack.org. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and got something out of that. If you have anything you do want us to cover, please email us and let us know.
Tell us you want us to get on a tangent about.
Yeah, we're good at tangents. All right, date idea. Alan, take it away.
So mine is going on a frozen yogurt or Froyo date.
Yeah.
Where I just think it's kind of topical because we took our niece to a frozen yogurt place yesterday, so it was fun.
Oh my gosh, so much fun.
I like going too because it's kind of one of those things where you get to go, like, kind of be a kid together in a way, because there's always candy and toppings and stuff, and you just go have a treat with. It's just a fun little date night. Every time we've gone, like, I've never had a frozen yogurt date where I'm like, well, this isn't fun.
Yeah. So, like, right now in the winter, you just sit indoors and chat while you eat. But it was really fun. In the summer, we went. And remember, we didn't know the area really. But we walked down the sidewalk, and there were some really pretty lights. And we looked at the shops and passed this really cute restaurant. Remember that restaurant off the sidewalk?
French restaurant outside?
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just one of those cute little fun dates.
It's kind of, we always seem to have fun doing the things where, like, people are afraid to, like, play and be kids sometimes, where, like, arcade date's so much fun, or going to frozen yogurt and having
go get yourself
the
some ice cream, or yeah,
it's fun. And I'm
like
sweet, so sweets go well with me.
And I'm salty, so we go well together. No, you're supposed to say no. You're not.
No, you're salty.
Thanks.
You're salty in every way imaginable. Like, personality-wise, physically, I don't know.
Wow. I'll go get those divorce papers I've had sitting in the nightstand.
Do you really? Because I have a pen.
Stop! That's terrible. We're moving on.
Okay. From each other?
From the conversation.
Oh, hey, one thing, too. Learning about each other.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Alan is talking to you while trying to M-Turk. You are not being present.
No, I clicked on the wrong page.
Oh, okay.
I have incognito open because...
Are you looking at porn?
No.
While we're
because
doing
I
this?
have sex stories. And sometimes it'll link to my computer at work, like the same thing. And
okay.
Yeah.
I interrupted you on something, but that's because I got so upset because you opened up M-Turk.
So we were talking about communicating.
Yeah.
One thing, too, that I really know, and I do a better job of, like, acting in the way I know to act. Like, you hate being teased, and I like teasing.
Yes.
So I need to just stop sometimes. Like, that's one big thing. Like, you're really mad if I keep teasing. And
I warn him, like, it's going to get worse if you go. And then he gets really mad at me because I get really pissy and don't want to talk to him for, like, several hours. And he doesn't know why.
But the thing... I do know why. But I'm stubborn. But
yeah.
Then the other thing, too, I remember, too, like, communicating. And it's more of a playful thing, but I don't know if you really got mad when we would do this. When I would do this. When you'd be like, well, we're not having sex tonight. And my response is, okay.
Oh my God, I hate that. Yeah. Hate the, okay. Even though he doesn't always mean it. But...
We're not doing it tonight. Okay.
Okay, let's read a sex story for me.
Okay.
Thanks.
So mine's from Reddit. I have 2 of them.
Oh.
Mine are always from Reddit, just because there's such a
variety.
Well,
no, that's a good place.
So mine's from Chester B. The first one.
What's Chester got to say?
This story been told. That's how he writes it. I'm going to say exactly how he writes it. This story been told by one of workers fix something in my office. So the grammar's not great at first. It's hard to understand. But then he clears it up. His friend wanted to have anal sex with his girlfriend. He asked her to prepare for this, but she told him she's okay with it. So I'm just like, she must be like, I don't have to prepare. We're good to go. Then they had sex, and when he pulled his dick out, a big tomato rind was on his dick.
What the fuck?
And then, whatever, the story's okay. But the comment is what I like. Somebody writes, she eats tomatoes whole? Good God, man. It's hardly even tomato. I don't know. Also, I feel like tomato rinds would get digested. I don't know. Now we're going to have to...
Digest it. It came out of...
Yeah.
Oh, we were doing anal, weren't we?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm like, it was in her vagina, you guys.
No, it was hard to read with the...
That was bad grammar for sure.
Yeah. Grammar, hardly know her.
Haha. Alright, I'm going to do mine before you do yours. Mine's from BuzzFeed, from a Caitlin with a million numbers and letters afterwards. She said, my husband and I were having sex with him on top when our little dog Natasha jumped up on the bed and started licking the side of his face. My husband told her to stop and gently pushed her away, then looked me dead in the eyes and asked in a serious tone, is that considered bestiality? A beat went by and we both burst out laughing and just held each other while we laughed. I really like this. I loved that. And it just makes me think of all the times we have sex when, like, one of the cats rubs against us or jumps on the bed or the dogs are like, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God, go away. But I like how, is that considered bestiality?
That's funny.
All right, let's hear your second one, mister.
All right, this is by Deleted, so apparently they're not a user anymore. But they wrote, I had sex with a girl who remained pretty dry the whole time. So this story doesn't sound good already. Upon hearing this, my friend asked, did you talk dirty to her? Oh, yeah, I said. Another bad grammar, goes, oh, yeah. I said, her name, I love you. Laughing, did she like that? She said, don't say that. And he's like, oh, he thought that was great.
Oh, he said, I love you was the dirty talk?
That was the dirty talk. It would be like me saying, Hannah, I love you. And you going, don't say that. I don't like if I say her name during sex, which I don't really.
No. It's weird when you say my name at all.
Yeah. I usually call you hun or
babe. I was hoping we'd have something different, but I went to babe immediately.
You don't call me anything.
Hey, you.
You don't like Hanny.
Oh my God, stop. My niece now calls me Hanny.
Because of me.
Yeah, everyone says none of them called me that, and Aylin said it once to her, and so now she thinks she's funny. Okay. Sex position of the week is Reverse Cowgirl. I'm sure many of you know what that is, but if you don't, you'll see a picture posted on our social media on Wednesday when this comes out. And I know this one was long, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, everything we discuss is a try at your own risk. We are not responsible for any injuries. Our podcast comes out every Wednesday morning. Social media, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Everything Couples Podcast. So please go give us a like, whichever you use. I know some people don't use Facebook anymore.
If you use YouTube, please come
subscribe on YouTube or give us a follow on Facebook or Instagram.
You're lucky number 9. We have 8 so far.
Woo! We're really growing. And then, please, if I could give you guys one thing to do other than the like part, please write us a sex story. We'd love to share somebody else's sex story. And you can write that at everythingcouplespodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk to y'all next week. Hey friends, whether you are looking to lose some weight, reduce wrinkles or acne, or help your hair grow, look no further than Modere. I have been on their lean body system for several months now and am seeing results. Consistency is key with any supplement, and I am happy I stuck with it. If you are interested, please click the link in the description box to take you to my site. If you have any questions on what to take, please email us at everythingcouple